Hello, and welcome back to another beautiful, magical, bewildering, wondrous chapter and conclusion of Fear of Imposing in Black Rock City. We are at its end. Tonight, the temple burns, the sun sets, and our rippin' good party concludes. In all my years at Burning Man, I do believe that this has been the strangest, in all wonderfully chaotic ways. We have been through just about every element: hurricanes, typhoons, more hurricanes, more typhoons. It's been strange. Strange yet wonderful. Because you know what? That's what it's all about. Adaptation. Adapting to all circumstances, no matter what may arise. Evolution requires adaptability, and change is inevitable. And I do believe that that is why today's sponsor is surrendering. We must surrender to what comes and allow it to pass so that we may move onward, move forward, overcome, dispel, adaptability, surrender to all life throws at us. I think that's a very important part of Burning Man. Sub-sponsor / patience. There have been many moments during this burn I've been at my goddamn wit's end with people, with situations. There's a very strange aura to this burn. Very strange. A lot of people are quite literally losing it. They are losing their goddamn marbles. They're everywhere. I am finding everybody's marbles. People aren't very kind. They aren't very kind. A lot of grouches. There's a lot of grouchy poos at this burn. There are a lot of people who are very much indulging in their substance abuse problems. Getting piss off their goddamn camp chair. You know? What did I just say? Piss drunk, whatever. You know, see, that people are losing so much of their marbles that mine are beginning to spill. Just having to collect all of them, you know? I've got a little bit of jimble jamble jambalaya brain. But that's just a symptom. That's just one of my symptoms. Jimble jamble jambalaya brain. And I've had it so much up to my goddamn wit's end that my jimble jamble jambalaya brain is just kind of over trying to put it all together. So I'm surrendering. I'm surrendering to the madness that has been this burn, because I do tend to thrive in a good chaotic situation. And chaotic situations are quite beautiful. So, thank you, Burning Man. Thank you, Black Rock Desert, for this strange yet wonderful burn. It's really been something. You've seen me on all ends of the spectrum. Happy, elated, frustrated, angry, pissed. This place, it's changing. And I don't think in the best of ways. I don't know how much time I have left for this place. I think that I came here to share a beautiful story. And that may just be it. That may just be it for my tenure here at Burning Man. Who knows? Who knows? I've done a lot here over the years. Met some wonderful people, done some strange things. And I wouldn't take any of it back. Not a thing. But who knows what tomorrow will bring for Burning Man. But I hope that this story sheds some light on this strange, beautiful, wicked place. Because a mirror needs to be held up to this part of society. Because don't get it twisted, it's not a utopian movement. It's not a subculture. It is just, there is just much of a society here as there is anywhere else. It's just packaged differently, portrayed differently. And after it all wraps up, we will all return to another society. Continue with our dreams, continue with our goals, our ambitions. Some people will leave here never having found their marbles. And that's a sad, sad, tragic thing. But you know what? That's life. That's life. Adaptability matters. And if you can't handle your shit, don't punch the ticket and don't take the goddamn ride. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me on this wondrous journey we've had of Fear of Imposing in Black Rock City. I hope that you have enjoyed the story. Howdy, partner.
What's up, buddy?
Just recording a wonderful story about Burning Man. You want to listen? Absolutely. Take a seat.
Can I chill here for a minute?
Yeah, but can you just step out of the shot? Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate you. I would love a good audience. You are on the final chapter of Fear of Imposing in Black Rock City. Chapter 10, The Beauty of Burning Man. Sunday night, day 7. You may be wondering, what about Saturday? What, pray tell, happened to the man, the Burning Man? I want to hear of the party's last hurrah and grand finale. To many, Burn Night is certainly the most important aspect of the week, and consider that man's great heroic fall to be their New Year's Eve. To witness the very symbol of collaborated dreams and devotion, decades in the making, return to ash as a new countdown begins for the resurgence of another dream come to fruition. The spectacle is an unforgettable sight, marveling before an eruption of flames below fireworks lighting the night sky like a pyromaniac's wet dream. It's a fitting conclusion to reflect on oneself while witnessing the beauty of art's meticulously calculated act of self-destruction, all before paying one's dues via a bitchin' blowout. Could it be the ongoings of that night were just far too maniacal to include in this story, that perhaps have a need to protect the well-being of those most innocent? Truth be told, no, not really. It's much simpler than that, and can be summed up in 4 words. Beware the ground score. While a great title, it doesn't warrant its own chapter, but I'll summarize it anyway. 10 of us made way to watch the man burn, a unit with intent to keep as one. The plan was to witness all its glory, return to camp, recuperate, gather what remaining arsenal of drugs we had, and go out with a fucking bang. Our first problem was planning to begin with, as they never play out accordingly, and the second was counting on our best judgment. The man fell and it was splendid. But then 70,000 people stood up to leave, and on a head full of acid, everyone began melting into each other. Sleazy, Chief, and I managed to stay together as not to lose sight of the Jack Daniels, heavy pulls of liquor being the only thing keeping us grounded. Once that man burns, any sense of direction becomes radically skewed, and we'd been walking aimlessly before spotting it half buried in the dirt. "Holy fuck! A dime bag!" Chief yelled, brushing it off like a precious gemstone. It was chock full of white powder. "What a shame," I said. "Some poor schmuck is out there sprawled on all fours, sifting through the dust, and we just happened to stumble upon his treasure. Finders keepers." "There's no sense in letting it go to waste," Sleazy said. "Let's find a place to kill it." We'd head back to the Black Rock skate park and climb atop a full-sized halfpipe. "You really want to do it all?" I asked. "Why not?" Sleazy replied. "It's the last night to rage face. Who cares?" "What if it's not blow?" "There's only one way to find out," Chief said. "Let me see it. I'm an expert." The handle of Jack was nearing its end, and while judgment was severely impaired, he gummed it with confidence. Now, it's paramount to mention that Chief, since childhood, has had nerve damage in the nose of which leaves him unable to smell or taste anything. "Definitely cocaine," he said without question. "That's good enough for me," Sleazy replied. I'd been carrying around a Victorian handheld mirror for when feeling exceptionally vain, and/or instances such as these. We dumped out the entire bag and racked up 3 slugs hardy enough to burn immediate septum deviation, then took halves in each nostril, our built-up congestion and insane levels of drug tolerance likely having saved us from a world of trouble. Sleazy spoke after a few minutes. "That shit was bunk as fuck." "Yeah," Chief said. "I don't feel anything. Someone must have pranked us." "We've been had, boys," I said. "Let's get back to camp and rally for the night." Sleazy and Chief made their way down the ladder first. Then, as I was halfway, time slowed drastically, and words begun melting from the mouth like a stroke victim. "Hey, guys," I mumbled. "I don't think that was cocaine." I stepped off the ladder like Neil Armstrong from the lunar module, my new moon boots leaving me entirely unaware of gravity's sudden distortion. I heard, "Oh God!" being echoed as I turned to find them both scorpioned over random bicycles. There was nothing to grab, having fallen to both knees, the body forfeiting mobility. Slowly, I began rolling towards them by pushing off the ground with each shoulder blade, until grabbing Sleazy. "Why would you do this to us, you deranged psychopath?" I yelled. "Me?" he wailed as I pulled him to the ground in attempts to stand. "We're gonna die out here because some dipshit doesn't have any fucking taste buds." Chief pulled a vial from his pocket with a 1/4 gram of blow, having cocked his head back to shoot the entire thing into his brain like an EpiPen. But no amount of cocaine could have pulled us from this treacherous ketamine swamp, nor from those fierce talons of the Moss Man. "Gah!" Chief screamed, toppling over us. "We're all to blame! Dealt it, smelt it!" I can only imagine the unholy scene being played out as 3 crazed, horse-tranquilized adults, yelling in some twisted tongue, wrestled to the death with limp limbs. Sleazy had both hands around my neck, pummeling my head into the ground when someone pulled him off. "Guys, guys!" they called out. "Break it up already!" "This is between us, goddammit!" Chief replied, flailing an arm in his direction. "Mind your own fucking business! Haven't you ever seen a gentlemanly quarrel before?" "You scumbuckets will never take us alive!" Sleazy cried, dive rolling back onto me. I managed to land a clean punch right to Chief's gut, causing him to projectile vomit. "You're defiling the playa, you godforsaken monstrosity!" Sleazy yelled before kneeing me in the face and reopening the gash at the bridge of my nose. There was booze, blood, and bile splattered everywhere, and the concerned yet cautious citizens fled from harm's way. "We're causing a fucking scene here!" I yelled. "Get it together! We have to find shelter!" At a snail's pace, we began military crawling over each other's bodies, feet kicking at the face in attempts to cross Esplanade. It felt like trying to swim in quicksand poorly mixed with mid-shelf liquor. People were swerving around us and screaming bloody murder, every one of our limbs being trampled and beat to shit by mountain bikes and beach cruisers. After what must have been several torturous hours, we made way into a dark side street and rolled our bodies safely beneath the trailer of a semi-truck. "We'll never make it back in this condition," I said. "We must wait out the storm." "That could be hours," Chief replied, "or fucking days for all we know." "So be it," Sleazy said. "Karma's a bitch. I'm missing a tooth and may have broken a rib. Some fucking cosmonaut drove his one wheel directly into my sternum and bailed." "Did you get his plate number?" I asked, laughing in pain. "Suck my dick, asshole." "Love you too, Bubs." We spent the remainder of that night and party's last hurrah tucked safely beneath the trailer, having been quite literally chewed up and spit out. I swore off ketamine for many years after that night, and to this very day, I remain ever wary of the ground score. The man's burn is an extraordinary sight, but the thing is, when traversing a majestic mountain, fighting tooth and nail for each step while exhausting every fiber of your being, the most thrilling moment of all comes at the mere sight of the summit. Tirelessly, you've ridden the face of an enormous wave and are fully prepared for its break. Adrenaline kicks in. Nothing can stop you now, having come too far and worked too hard. However, once finally reaching the peak, it isn't excitement felt, but peace and contentment. A realization that it was never about being at the top, but the trials and tribulations of the journey itself. That moment of deep reflection is the real beauty of the experience, the true finale, a moment that for me came as the temple burned. That last day was bittersweet in preparation of departure. We were restless and torn to pieces, physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted. There was a communal sigh of relief that it was over. Yet still, even as the drugs wore off and a sober clarity could finally speak its mind, so very many parts of us had wished to stay. Burning Man may not have been our home, but it welcomed us in with open arms, nonetheless. It was humbling to overhear everyone share their experiences of the week. All those mind-bending trips, unforgettable dance floors, weird camps, insightful workshops, and endless oddballs. How wondrous it was that this mystical place truly had a little something to offer for everyone. That regardless of differences, walks of life, questionable kinks, peculiar passions, or far-out beliefs, within this small city, for one short week, someone could feel a little less alone in the world. While unification as one may be a wild stretch, the collective thrives. While pool floaties and dusty pillows were gathered to watch the temple burn, I couldn't help but distance myself once more. Whatever may take place needed to be done alone. So, as the last setting sun over Black Rock City took its leave, as did I. It was beyond surreal to watch as thousands marched quietly in unison towards their final destination. That evening's gentle glow held a different feel. The party was over and the upbeat, energetic presence finally receded into calm and nurturing waters. Even amongst the masses, an eerie silence cut the air. It felt of being in a deep sleep on the verge of waking life. That brief yet timeless moment where our beautiful dreams become lucid and the impossible conquerable, just before being carried away at the will of the wisps. Twilight seemed to be causing an optical illusion, the temple having a supernatural size to it, and while still far from the gathering, it was the closest I'd been all week. While not for lack of understanding its importance, I'd never end up visiting. I carry very deep reverence for the temple and all those spirits it homes. A pyre is a symbol of remembrance and sacred act of surrendering as it ferries those souls of yesterday well into the morrow. I've carried more than any one man should in this life, and there's never been a worse weight to bear than unrelenting burdens of past. Shame and remorse held dominion over my heart, yet even with everything wished to release, I'd known it couldn't be done there. Those pains would be dealt with on my own terms, in time. So, when that first flame was cast, I turned away and never looked back. I hadn't left, but changed direction, shifted attention, and altered perception. With a bundle of burning sage in hand, I began to walk steadily on a route encompassing the temple, never having gazed upon it, but meeting the eyes of those who were. For me, Those precious moments weren't about the event taking place, but the emotion displayed in those it was for. Nothing was held back nor hidden in the countless faces with trickling teardrops. Humility, innocence, sorrow, grief, happiness, contentment, compassion, peace, love, and forgiveness. Every soul revealing unparalleled depths of expression. I could sense the pain in their goodbyes while having felt the love within their eyes. And it was there, peering further into the endless hearts joined together as one, that I'd discover the beauty of Burning Man. There truly is no better party in the world. However, there are certainly thousands of people who show up to this desert without any intention at all to rage face. Some come for a spiritual experience, others for a sense of community. Some come because they love art, others because they love music. Some come to create, others to destroy. Some come for clarity, others to get caught up in the madness. Some come to find themselves, others to lose themselves. Some come to be themselves, others to become someone else. Some come to dream, others to wake. Getting down to brass tacks, it doesn't matter why they come, for most arrive in hopes to further enrich their existence while evolving on their path of self-discovery. No different from spirituality being defined solely by its practitioner, Burning Man is defined by whatever the hell you wish of it, what you seek or don't, understand or misrelate, make sense of, or lose sense over. And just like not everyone is there for the party, not everyone stood before that temple looking to release something. The collective was gathered to witness a beautiful chapter come to its end, before turning the page on another tale in heroic quest. To be with one another and cherish a moment hand in hand as brothers and sisters, husbands and wives, lovers and fighters, friends and foes, young and old, wise and naive, punk rockers and smooth jazzers, misfits and hippies, rebels and allies, sinners and innocent, hypocrites and asshole anomalies, all in arms to join forces as one. Amidst the serenity of sheer stillness, the inferno danced to tunes of crackling timber, gasping for their final breath before returning to ash. The breeze blew gently, carrying glowing embers of the temple like spirits whisking in the wind, raining down on those it was burnt for as one final whisper of farewell. I'd traversed the halo of hallowed grounds, having found myself right back where I started, finally ready to say a goodbye of my own. I arrived to that mystic desert without cares or ambition, and not a goddamn intention in sight. Who would have thought a gathering of kooks in the middle of nowhere for 7 days could leave me questioning so much of where I'd been heading in life just prior to arrival, having been much better than the alternative downward spiral? While not wishing to depart from such a wonderland, I was more than ready to embark on a new voyage of extraordinary discovery and take that first step back into the great unknown. I made way back towards Esplanade when stopping abruptly to pull out a lighter and my driver's license. I may have been there to do drugs out in that desert, but I'd be leaving with the profound realization of having embodied much more than that. So, while working to figure out who that next person was, paths walked and purpose carried, I decided that in the meantime, there was no other choice than to truly become nobody. I burnt my license to a crisp and then buried the ash deep within the playa. It was time for us to return home, back to our lives, friends, and families. We began this journey as thieves, bandits, punks, and pirates. But now, it hadn't mattered who any of us were. We'd each been the same person interpreting different experiences through peculiar lenses, not one moment any greater than another. What mattered most was the love and camaraderie shared, the memories they'd instill, and the men we'd go on to become because of it. These wound up being the final days of our brotherhood of Lost Boys would ever experience together. Sleazy would go on to explore himself by exploring the world, and is now a brilliant fashion designer. Lone Wolf would finally spread his wings and take flight as a pilot, soaring to those heights always dreamt. Chief would discover purpose in the eyes of a newborn son, while upholding his role as a father with integrity. And as for me, well, I'd go on to find my family, my home, and the boundless love I'd sought for so very, very long. Although that journey lay within the seam of another book, upon the pages of a never-ending story. Change is inevitable, and evolution requires adaptability. The Brotherhood of Lost Boys may be behind us, but what we have to offer ourselves, our worlds, and those within it remain ever ahead, just past the second star to the right and straight on till morning, each boy having finally been found. It became very easy in the following years to find myself chasing that first experience's magic and bewilderment. I wanted to relive the marvel, but instead, I began expecting the unexpected. Without any shock value or wow factor, Burning Man eventually became dull while having lost its shine for me. That's not to say they weren't ripping good times, but like anything, it's good to take a break and reset, if hoping to discover new appreciation for our experiences in life. It's incredibly easy to catch ourselves longing for nostalgia in any regard, but the fact of the matter is, no two moments will ever be entirely alike. However, that tough pill is one of the most unique and undeniably fascinating things about Burning Man. Much like us, the experience itself is always changing, the culture being in a perpetual state of rapid evolution. The magic was lost because I sought the city to become something it no longer was, while having become a paradox. But Burning Man is nothing more than what we, the creator, storyline architect, and narrator, decide to make of the performance. Anything we want and feel it to be, or nothing at all. In essence, being no different than an abstract portrayal of life itself. I know to be contradicting myself here, having stated that this event shouldn't be looked at as a way of life. But taking it at face value doesn't mean that growth, understandings, or knowledge gained should be left out in this desert as we depart. On the contrary, those building blocks create ideological foundations of which can be implemented into any kind of meaningful existence. There's no better archetype than Burning Man when it comes to coalescing fantasy with reality. Birthed from a vibrantly twisted nether, Black Rock City is a soul of etheric madness which keeps hearts of chaos pumping. A jigsaw puzzle which calls upon pieces from every corner of the world to form an ever-evolving, mosaic portrait come to life. It is the in-between of polar opposite worlds screaming towards a delightful yet violent head-on collision. The great void sharing in an apprehensive dance with the Garden of Eden. A surreal landscape of peculiar encounters and obscure destinations, played to the tune of Bach's Toccata and Fuegue's punk rock Robotech remix. A realm of radical metamorphosis which allows oneself to access those imaginative parts kept veiled for the other 358 days of the year. There's no way to truly make sense of it all, for its charm in and of itself is entirely senseless. But if there is a final frontier remaining to be found here on Earth, outside of the mind, its discovery awaits in the Black Rock Desert, from late August to early September, beckoning for those in search of themselves. Burning Man is both a collaborated dreamscape and hellish nightmare. It'll show you unconditional love, then turn on you in horrific ways, leaving one crawling from the deepest parts of the darkest places. An environment, mind you, that homes a certain primal sense of culture, subculture, and counterculture, of which are all entwined with a spiritual essence and wicked, animalistic nature. If comparing its expansive mythos to any one thing, I'd say it's no different from a carnival which comes through town once a year. Everyone knows of the joyous yet dark undertoned freak show that makes up a traveling circus. These mysterious figures who crawl from the depths of an underbelly society run games of glee and deception, while at the helm of rickety rides and funhouses filled with mirrors of infinite reflection. But is that not exactly what Burning Man symbolizes? A reflection of oneself. A mass gathering of weirdos looking to express who they are internally, externally, without fear of judgment. To retain that long-lost playful innocence they still yearn to believe hasn't been forsaken. When we grow, our make-believe friends leave our side. Imagination begins to wither, and we work tirelessly to bastardize the child within. What better an idea is there than to give adults a carnival to play in where they feel okay and pretending to be free, all before returning to their 9 to 5. A wondrous never-never-land where physicians can become Peter Pan, and those who wear tutus can be hypocrisy-driven, total fucking twat bags. There's no better motif for the hopeful imaginer than Burning Man, being no different from the carnival of stories. We arrive in awe of the stilt walkers and acrobats. We laugh at the obscurity of clowns. We ponder over the differences of sideshow freaks, and we're stimulated by the games, lights, bells, and whistles. There's a soul-satisfying, yet chaotic uncertainty about the whole mess. But deep down, we wish to be a part of it. Many fantasize ditching town to become a carny, to finally embrace and embody who they've known themselves to always be, a freak in the freak show. Yet even so, we remain aloof towards our curiosity, because we know that once they're done packing up to leave, they'll return the following year, when and where we can fantasize that illusory choice once again. For all I know, that could have been my last sunset in Black Rock City. But I gave it to y'all, so you're welcome. I'm sure it was wonderful, but you know, I'm the kind of guy that's like seen one, seen them all. You know, I cherish them when I can, but I don't need to be there. A lot of people here get upset with me when I don't stay out all night. All my pals, my buddies, my guys, my gals, they say, Eric, you need to stay out and see the sunrise. It's so goddamn beautiful. And I say, listen, I cherish my sleep. I want to feel good tomorrow. I want to go out and do wonderful adventures. I want to see new things. I want to see beautiful faces. I want to meet the guys and gals and ladies and pals and buddies and friends of the whole wide world. And so I need my sleep. And I know that once that sun rises, I'm gonna have a hard time getting to sleep because it's so goddamn hot. So yeah, I didn't need to see the sunset because I wanted to read from a beautiful story with the sun setting. And also, I'm always out in this goddamn desert when this fucking place isn't here. Because this desert is sacred and needs to be treated as such. There is magic here that has nothing to do with Burning Man. And as such, this desert must be respected. So, please, dearest Burning Man, and all of its strange, wonderful, beautiful, idiotic, hypocritical, dumbass, piece of shit, litter bugs, white trash, wooks, the whole package. Please respect our beautiful desert, our beautiful world. We need to not only do better as individuals, but as people in general, as a species. Show more compassion, show more empathy, lend more sympathy, accept, surrender, adapt, love, and forgive. Not only others, but yourself. Jesus fucking Christ, give your minds a break. Put the fucking drug back in your pocket and save it for another rainy goddamn day. If you feel like shit, the answer is not to put more shit into your fucking face. Fuck. To all you deranged fucking lunatics out here that I've shoulder checked the whole fucking week, get your goddamn act together. Cut the shit, tone it back, appreciate your life. It is a miracle that you are here on this world, in this beautiful desert, and you need to learn to appreciate what is around you, and most of all, yourself. Coming out to this event is not making you a better person because you were out here fucking doing drugs in the desert thinking you were having an enlightening experience. The world is an enlightening experience. The wonder and magic and mysticism and bewilderment and mystery and horror and tragic and despair and loss and love and peace and suffering, all of that is an enlightening experience. Shooting blow ketamine into your face, dropping acid, eating mushrooms, taking mescaline, all this shit that you think is expanding your fucking consciousness is already fucking inside you. And don't get me wrong, I fucking party my ass off. I fucking party. And I put that shit in my face and I eat that shit and I have a fucking ripping good time. But you know what? I also have self-restraint. I'm a man of balance. I'm a man of duality. I'm a man of contentment. I do not go chasing. I do not go chasing. Chasing. Chasing is a strong drug. And everyone out here, desperate to feel that bliss and ecstasy of drugs, of alcohol. You don't need to abuse it. And I don't even know why I started this rant. It's just been on my fucking head because there's so many goddamn lunatics out here this year. More than normal. And being around it is lousy. It's wretched. It's sickening. And there are so many beautiful, wonderful souls here that have to deal with the fucking degenerative idiots that come and just fucking destroy their lives. You can't help those who don't want to be helped. So if you're out there at some point watching this video thinking, man, Burning Man's over, fuck, what am I gonna do? How about you work on yourself? Maybe not come to next year's burn. Maybe don't try chasing the high of a strong drug. Find harmony. Find balance. Find contentment. Deal with your sorrow. Embrace it. If you're angry, rage at the fucking wind. If you're sad, cry. If you're happy, be happy. But feel with everything that you have in you. Oh. I don't know, man. I'm just a damn fool, none the wiser. So listen to me, don't listen to me. Do your thing, don't do your thing. I don't give a fuck. But I want to see this place be better. I want to see the people be better. I want to see the organization be better. I want to see people more respecting of the land. I want to see people more respecting of themselves. And it just breaks my heart to come out to this wonderful, artistic, beautiful event each year and see people just self-imploding. This place changes people for the best, and it can sure as fuck change people for the worst. By God, I tell you. But either way, I may have gotten real angry at you, Burning Man, through some of these chapters, experiences, and all that. What be it, what have you. But I appreciate you. By golly, I appreciate the shit out of you. Even if you watch this and you fucking mail me a cease and desist or whatever, I don't know what the rules are here. Y'all's policy on no free press is kind of fucking bullshit. You know, you preach all this like bullshit and then you're full of your own shit, you know, whatever. So I hope y'all watch this and appreciate it, because I appreciate you. People are allowed to have their opinions, and you can tell me to fuck myself, or you can fucking be like, yo, that shit was sick. Either way. Either way. Thank you. Thank you for the many, many years that you have given me at this wonderfully chaotic, insane event that you hold. It truly is the fucking damnedest, rippingest good time that I know of. And Jesus Christ, what a wonderful sight. The temple's gonna be burning soon. I'm out here at the trash fence. That's kind of my thing. I like to just have my little ceremony out here where my experience was kickstarted at this wonderful event. So while I could leave the camera rolling and have y'all watch a wonderful burn, I'm gonna keep that sacred space, you know, for the people here. Like I said, I want to respect the art. Except for that library, fuck you once again. Your art sucks. That's not art. That's desecration. Shame on you. For shame. For shame. I hope you feel lots of shame. You've earned that. You got to sit with that shame. Process it, and then do better. Maybe next time you come out here, you make an actual library. You make up for the mistakes of the past. But that's neither here nor there. I don't need to get back into it, but you suck. Anyways, thank you all so much for joining me on this little venture that we've had over the past couple weeks. I truly appreciate you. Love me or hate me, I appreciate you. And I can't wait till next time. I don't know what story's next. My name's Eric Michael. If you dig this, check out The Stars Above. That's my real work. I honestly wrote this book as a joke, but look what it turned out to be, you know? I think it's important. But if you enjoyed this, go ahead and tune into The Stars Above. Wow, is that quite a fucking remarkable story. Thank you so much, guys. Have no idea what's next, but I'm excited for the adventure. I'll catch y'all next time.